It takes too long. It's annoying and it's not fun.
So we are two stylists that don't love the styling part. Every stylist out there has a part of the job they hate. That's what we should do one day. But today we're going to talk about the tools you use at home and the tools you use in a salon and which ones are good in which situation and what our favorite tools are. And, you know, it's funny because you said right when we were getting on, I thought you liked blow drying hair. I said, no, I'm just good at it.
Oh yeah, I know. I thought you did in particular like blow drying. Yeah. You are good at it, so I don't know.
It's the heat. I'm already hot natured, and if it's not cool enough in the salon already and you're blowing down, if you blow drying correctly, it should be going down the shaft to keep it from flying up and frizzing. So you're going down and towards your body, and so you're heating up your core as you're blow drying with that round brush. And I'm just getting I'm getting so hot and miserable. And I like the real loud, didn't have to be loud, just happened to be loud. I like the real powerful blow dryer through the years. And I like a lot of air. So I liked volume and heat in the amount of air. Literally pulled all the hair dryers out, went to the local Sally's one time, and I said, I don't care about the brand. I'm just looking for a blow dryer that blows the most air and they all get pretty hot, but I want a lot of air blowing from this thing. So because this is back when I was doing some curly hair, big head hair, extensions, lots of hair, trying to get rid of a lot of moisture. And she said, there's a plug right on top of the shelves right there by the blow dryers. You can open all of them. So I did.
Oh, did you really?
She said, I'll help you pack them back up. I said, this is the best day for buying a blow dryer. I opened every single one, and I can't even remember the name brand. It was so many years ago, but it was not the most popular name brand. It's not the one most people were buying. And I used that same dryer for a long time because till they didn't make it anymore, just some cheap dryer. It was from Sally's, and it just blew real hard. Of course, I checked the temperature, blew pretty hot. And so that's what I went with. I don't even use a concentration nozzle. You know, I liked big, wide, round, lots of air, get it really dry in the beginning. So give us a little more specific direction of what this video is supposed to be about today with the at-home in salon situation.
Right now in the world we live in, and it's been like this for a while now, a lot of the clients are buying their own tools to use at home.
Sure.
And a lot of manufacturers are targeting clients, you know, with professional tools, professional grade tools, the equivalency of, and all of the way around, right?
Right.
So what's ended up happening now is we're seeing a lot more clients burning their hair. We're starting to see a lot more videos, curling irons, and they're burning their hair, and flat irons, and they're burning their hair, and chunks of hair coming off their head. And the blow dryers, you know, yeah, they're getting lighter, they're getting lightweight, they're getting more quiet. But then we're starting to see a lot of blow dryers burning a lot of hair as well, too. So the clients are starting to ask, like, this was never a thing. Why is it a thing now?
Yeah.
Well, there was always a difference if it was a professional grade versus an app for over the counter, as we refer to it.
Yeah.
Now those lines have been crossed. There is no more professional grade only, over the counter only. Everybody can pretty much have access to getting everything.
So I think what I'm hearing from you is that the manufacturers were a little scared of the person at home destroying their hair with their tools. So they lowered the temperatures so the clients at home would be more difficult for them to burn their hair.
The power, the airspeed, the wattage, the temperature, you know, and depending on what type of tool it was. So yeah, I'd like to talk about, you know, the main ones are going to be blow dryer, flat iron, curling iron.
So you know my good friend Jude, the karate guy, his wife the other day tells me, she goes, Bernard, I want to ask you a question about my hair. Look, and she pulls some short pieces up. She says, what is it that's making it break off right here? Look, they're so short right in this area. What do you think it is? And she's bleached kind of blonde on top, brown underneath. And first thing I'm thinking is chemicals, but I get kind of close as I'm looking. And then she says it. She goes, and she pulls it down. She goes, it even smells a little burnt. I said, well, that's exactly.
She's so
Oh,
cute though. I could just picture her with her
it
personality.
even smells a little burnt. And I'm like, aha. That's exactly what it is.
It was Shannon in the bathroom with the blow dryer. It's like a game of Clue, you know?
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's burnt. As I got closer and she's saying it, I smell it. I said, yeah, I smell it. It is burnt. I don't know if it's you or your hairdresser. Somebody's burnt it off. And she said, I think I did that. Nobody wants to believe they burnt their hair off. So yeah, when you said burning their hair off these days, I'm like, a lot of stories came up to me right away. A lady in my wife's book club, my wife's like, I won't name her name. She says, so-and-so is going to come in today. And listen, I know you're not doing hair anymore, but can you just meet with her before so-and-so does her hair? She's trying to figure out what's going on top. She's losing her hair and she's really upset. It's just not growing on this one side. She's thinking something to do with age or vitamin deficiency, or they never want to believe they're doing it. And it's funny because it's like right through here. And I said, it was either that side or this side. And when I looked, I'm like, God, it's on the one side. I said, are you right-handed or left-handed? And, it must have been the right side. She says, I'm right-handed. I said, yeah, well, I see it. Like you're styled. You're burning it all off.
It's always the one side. Yeah.
What tool are you using? Because she has trouble getting over to the other side. So she doesn't do it as long or as well, but she's literally just burning it off with a little flat iron. Because I said, are you using a blow dryer, flat iron? Tell me about your tools in the morning. And she's thinking, why am I wasting my time telling you about what tools I'm using? Tell me what's wrong with my hair. Well, what's wrong with your hair is you. You are what's wrong with your hair. So tell me what you're doing, because you want me to tell you, oh, you're low on vitamin B12. That's what it is. It's B12. You take that vitamin, you're going to be goodbye. End of the week, probably. And we should kind of cover that. When people are having trouble with their hair, diet, health, vitamins, that usually not 100% of the time, but most of the time affects the amount of hairs coming out of your scalp or the amount of hairs falling out of your scalp. When you see something wrong with the hair after it's come out from this little short to the ends, something in there, it's usually external something, right? Whether
that's the biggest difference. You can control what you eat and you can control your health as much as you want, but equally as important, exactly like you're talking about, it's the external. And that's why I said earlier, rollers are not as much of a thing as they used to be, but rollers are still used. But like 3 of the main tools I want to talk about would be a blow dryer, a flat iron, and a curling iron, because that's the main things that are currently being used. And a lot of people, everybody is always talking about wash and go hair. Everybody's talking about go, no time. They want to go fast. Got to go fast.
Well, that's exactly what it is, faster. But let's talk a little bit about what the difference is and why. I don't want to come across as arrogant and be like, hey, you don't need it at home. That's just for us. And we're not going to tell you why. Because that's most at-home people like me in every woodworking show I watch. And they're like, well, you don't really need this saw in a home workshop. The heck I don't.
I know.
So I know the at-home person. So a little public service announcement. Let's try to say, like, why would a client at home not need what a stylist might use in a salon?
That's exactly what I want to do, because I would be a hypocrite if I said, don't ever go buy yourself an 1800, 2000 watt, because I'm like you. The difference comes though, is the level of responsibility. And that's what you have to decide. If you don't care and you don't want to spend time and you don't want to learn how to properly do the procedure of blow drying your hair, then do not buy an 1800 to 2000 watt blow dryer. You're gonna hurt yourself.
If you're not going to use the tool correctly,
don't buy the professional grade thing.
Use the lower heat setting, the lower blower setting, the lower heat setting on the flat iron, the curling iron, all those things, because that's the safety margin, right? Because most of them, the truth, and I guess the detail that really matters is the heat on most of them, because that's what's burning, right? The amount of blowing, not necessarily. I mean, it'll just make your curly hair look frizzy if you do it wrong. That's not going to damage anything. You're just going to look.
You can fix that, right? There's forgiveness in there. You can fix that.
But the heat, the challenge is that the heat in these tools can burn hair. And so your first question might be like, why would they provide that much heat? Well, if you're moving the tool around, then you don't get the concentrated heat in one spot, so you're not going to burn. And that's what professionals do. We use it for speed. We use it to be able to get more done faster by moving that heat around a little faster, or traveling through with a round brush, and we're not burning in one place. And so it's almost like when you sit around a campfire, you know, there's that sweet spot where it feels good. You're too far away. It does no good. You get too close, you get burned. The same thing with these hot tools. And so the manufacturers for a long time would just have the heat so low you couldn't burn your hair if you tried. So that would be the consumer version. But like you said, the lines have gotten crossed. We wanted to help the clients do better, faster, until they didn't quite understand the significance of how fast and easy it is to burn your hair. And when you said that, that's when I thought, well, you know what? It has been over the last 10 years. I got more and more people asking about the burnt hair, because the tools have gotten hotter and hotter. And we're like, hey, if it's good for a professional, it's good for the client. We can sell it for a higher price too, so we make more money.
Make more money from it. You mentioned moving the hair. So I had a client come in. She showed me. She goes, I move my hair all the time because I'm always saying, when you blow drying your hair at home, you got to move your hair. You know, you got to keep moving the heat. You got to keep moving the heat. She comes in and she goes, I burned my hair. I did everything you said. I've been moving my hair. I said, air, not hair. Don't hold the blow dryer in place and do this with your hair and shift your hair around. You got to move. You got to hold your hair in place and move the blow dryer around. She goes, well, your accent, I can't understand a damn thing you say sometimes. I'm like, no, don't even try to put this on me, woman. You know, like, this is not, we had a good laugh about it.
I always wondered when I was a kid, my mom, which it looked like she was shaking the blow dryer. You know, that blow dryer was always, I was like, what, Mom, what are you doing? Why is that thing? Just be still and dry the spot you're in and then move to another spot. And then I just feel like I picked it up through osmosis or something. I picked up a blow dryer and I started shaking it. I guess I felt the heat and I was like, ooh, if I leave that in one spot, she's going to be burnt. And so I've always used this part of my hand right here. It's a little sensitive. I've rolled the brush. I'm getting ready to heat up hair over here. I blow dry right here on my hand. How long, how many seconds, half seconds, milliseconds can my hand take without moving the dryer? And I'll go, well, that's about as long as I'm going to do any blow drying near their scalp. And so if I'm not going to burn the skin or the hair, that's safer. And it gives me a bit of a test.